Three, two, one, and we got Kent Hein in the house today. How you doing, Kent?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so happy to have you on. We've known each other for about a year now, a little over a
Actually,
year.
more actually closer to two.
Closer to two, yeah. That
Yeah.
that makes more
Yeah.
sense actually, yeah. And we've known each other through the church, and then you started going to PPTC. That was probably about a year ago, 8 months,
That was
about
yeah. That
eight
was in
to 8 months to about a
first
year
of
ago.
December.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And over the course of time, we got to know each other and stuff. But I got you on the podcast today. It's not just for me to get to know you before now, but for everybody to kind of get to know Kent and what he does, and kind of just your journey. And we'll even talk about fitness a little bit, how that helped your journey, but mainly just about you, man.
All right,
So
well, thank you.
take me through your background, man. Where are you from? Where were you born? Where were you raised?
Well, actually, I was born in Kentland, Indiana. Believe it or not, that's how we got the name of our little company, a paint company. So I was born
Ah,
there. So
look
yeah,
at you.
Look at that. That's out now.
See, I thought that was just your name, and then you just added to it.
No, it was where actually I was born in Kentland, Indiana.
That's awesome.
Long time ago. So
Is that
back
like
in
the
19
basis of your name too?
Yeah, it's what Laura wanted. She said
Look at
when
you.
when I left my brother's company in 2012, we started our own. It's kind of a corny name, but you know what? Once you do remember it, you don't forget it. So
Exactly, and that's the whole thing,
Yeah,
for people to
so-
remember what you're doing.
yeah. So. No, I was born in Indiana a long time back in 1956. Grew up on a farm, learned how to work with my hands and a lot of physical labor.
Heck yeah.
So that's where and my parents were just common everyday working people. So that's what I knew. When we moved, talking about moving, we moved to schools when I was a junior in high school, and that was a traumatic thing.
And where's that?
In Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So we changed high schools. My mom and dad bought a business, so we moved.
Okay,
So,
that makes
and
sense.
that was kind of a getting to know new people. But it's a good thing I did that because you got out of your comfort zone, which I think you're strongest when you're out of your comfort zone.
That's where growth happens the most. I tell everybody that all the
It
time.
does, and I wasn't wild. I love sports. Did that. What wasn't wild about school. I went to college for a total of 6 weeks.
Setting records, man. That's awesome.
It just wasn't me. I mean,
Where did you wind up going? Anywhere?
Franklin College
Franklin.
in Franklin, Indiana. That's
Okay.
where we're from. So,
Yeah, you just what did you not like about it?
I was homesick.
Oh.
I was just homesick, and so I went back and lived with my sister and her husband. I worked at a seed corn company. Then unfortunately I got into partying too much, so I did that for a couple 3 years. So did that. Went out to Texas for 2 or 3 years. Then my dad got sick back in 42 years ago. So wow, that'd have been a life, but I can't do the math right now. But I was 22 when he passed away with a heart attack. So I came
Wow.
back. So I was changing, and I moved down to Florida from Indiana. Worked with my brother for 25, 28 years in painting and stuff like that. Then fast forward when the economy kind of took a when they can
Yeah.
when it hurt
Oh
everybody.
08
so-
or 07 or whatever it was. when it
yeah,
started.
back that whole spin
Mhm.
off on that. So and that's where I am today. We just I got Laura's my wife. We got 3 boys.
Yeah.
They've all graduated college. They're doing okay. They're not where we would like for them to be, but that's in God's hands and not ours, and we
Right.
just got to let that go. And just we can't do anything about it. But as parents, and you being a young father, you'll start running into that when you get.
Yeah, you want the best for them.
Oh yeah.
Want them to have everything.
hmm
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So we did that. So one of them's in Virginia, one's in Atlanta, one's in Miami. So we'll see. None of them are married. None of them I don't think we're having a hard time finding a relationship with somebody that they can trust.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're good kids,
that's-
man. They're good young men.
No, it is hard to date nowadays. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world, because there are a lot of people who are in it for their own interests and not in it to,
Oh,
enjoy
yeah,
the other
it's
person
just-
or whatever.
it's
So
a-
it's definitely it's a vicious
tough.
cycle out there for sure.
And I
Yeah.
got Laura at work, so I got lucky. I met Laura
Wow,
at work,
look
so,
at you,
yeah.
lucky dog.
So we just had our 30th anniversary in March.
Congratulations. Look
Thank
at
you.
you.
Yeah, trying to set a good example.
It's phenomenal,
Trying
man.
to set a good example.
Yeah. Holy crap. I think I'm almost at 2
Wow, look at you go.
or 3 and a half.
Before you know it, it'll be 10 and 20.
Exactly. It just flies by. I mean, those are the ones that really count, though, right? I mean, every year counts, but really, when you hit 5, 10, when you really start jumping numbers, you're like, okay, been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, because I can remember thinking, oh, it'd be nice when I have 10 years and 20, when people hear people, because you feel kind of like you're a rookie when you've been married a year or 2, and then like all these people.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
so,
Yeah, I'm at the rookie stage.
yeah, you are.
So when you were going through school and middle school, elementary school, high school, did you play any sports? You mentioned
Yeah.
cross country, but
Yeah, I played baseball. I loved baseball. Actually, was
Okay.
pretty good in baseball.
Awesome.
Played basketball. Played football for a couple of years. No, we had a. If you ever seen the movie Sandlot?
yep,
That's about how our team was. We were just a bunch of ragtag.
just scrappy ragtag.
ragtag.
Yep.
None of the uniforms matched.
Bad news bears.
But it was yeah, but we were good in baseball. It was fun.
That's awesome,
Yeah, I
man.
played up through high school. Then we. So it was.
Yeah, well, you didn't go to college long enough to play.
No, I didn't.
You didn't get a chance to try it. 6 weeks.
There wasn't any signing bonuses back then either.
Right,
So-
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But actually, I was too lazy. You know, you asked earlier. I was just too lazy.
You didn't want to do it.
I was just lazy. I mean, if I didn't mind the physical part of it, I just didn't. I wasn't up to the challenge. I was not up to the challenge.
So what kind of mindset, like, were you in back then that made you kind of, like, not really be into it? If you can
I
remember.
thought, well, yeah, because I thought life should be easy.
Okay.
I thought life should be easy, and you shouldn't have to get out of your comfort zone. But you got to get out of your comfort zone, not to be so redundant, but you've got to get out of your comfort
So that's what kept you from doing sports outside of high school, right?
zone. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You knew other people were better. You didn't want to make yourself better.
I didn't want to look bad. Yeah.
Right. You were done with it. Well, they're better than me, so I'm good.
Yeah, I gave up
Interesting.
before I ever started.
How long did that last? And
Till I was probably early 30s.
really?
Lasted a long time. Yeah, I just kind of
Wow.
early 30s.
And what was the snap? What was the switch?
Our first son.
Wow.
First son, but actually our first son is not with Laura. It's with another lady.
Oh,
So I wasn't married. Yeah, no, that's a little surprising.
okay. Yeah, it is a little surprising. I didn't know, but I guess it makes sense. 30 years now, you say, so
Yeah, he's
I guess it kind of makes
33,
sense.
So when I
Right.
haven't been, that made me grow up, just like that.
So what about having a baby? But was it because you had a son, or whether daughter or son? What made you having a baby made you feel like you needed to grow up or get out of that mindset where you everything should be easy and should be a piece of cake?
It got to the point of life wasn't about me anymore.
Mm.
It was about somebody else, putting somebody else first.
I like
For all
that.
that time, it was about me, what
That's
I
good.
wanted, what was best for Kent Hein,
Mm.
and what was easiest for Kent Hein.
Right.
So
Right.
it just happened. I mean, it was like I just remember taking on this, said I'm not going to be a loser dad. I'm going to be a good dad. So that's what it was.
And from this point, they're not as far as you want them to be, but successful wise, like they all graduated college.
Oh yeah,
did they all go and do the jobs they wanted to do, or
No,
Not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
not a lot of people do unless you get a doctorate come out of college, right?
No, and yeah.
Doctorate or some kind of serious degree. Usually, you don't really go to that calling. It's usually something else.
But I think it's really a spiritual thing.
Okay.
I really do with where our sons are at, because I think we try to cuddle them, and what you're probably trying to do with your daughter is just make sure nothing bad happens to them, and that's not a good thing. Really, it's backfired.
Sometimes. Yep.
It's because they needed to go face life, and I think God's saying, "Hey, you guys are you messed this up, man. Let me take over.
Mm.
And I'm better with it than Laura. Laura's in a tougher spot than I am, but I think being a mother, he probably would be. But being a dad, I've totally just said, man, it's yours.
Yeah.
And it was such a load off my mind and my heart.
Because you know they're in good hands.
They are in good hands.
Yeah.
They're in good hands, and they had a good house, they had a good home. We worked, tried to have good faith. Just you think you're doing all the right things, but sometimes it just totally blows up in your face.
Yep. And that makes sense. I mean, that's with anything. You always have the best intentions, might have the best intentions for something, but might not turn out the way you thought it would.
Right.
But then again, like I said, you taught them how to do some things that are successful. Because if not, I mean, how many people do you know that don't even go through high school? How many people do you know that don't even think about going to college, or when they do, they go in for 6 weeks. They go in for 1 semester. They go in for a year.
Right.
They go in for 2 years, get their A, and go, and just now you're 10,000 in the hole for what again? You know what I mean? And
you're right.
so now they got their own, and I'm sure with college and with having you guys, they're off on their own. They're not living with you. So I mean, that's another. I'm just throwing some things out there that are positives, because I feel like sometimes we can be the hardest critics on ourselves. You know what I mean? And sometimes people need to feed us with some positive outlooks on what we're going through, and those are a bunch of positive outlooks, because there's a lot of people who really can't take care of themselves.
Unfortunately, that's true.
It is very true, and I hate to say it, but it's not a lot of good parents that want to be there for their kids. So I think over coddling might be bad when they hit some adversity.
Mm-hmm.
But the nice thing is that you guys can still be there and be like, you're good, keep going. And you could still give them a thumbs up from a distance, and it's still encouragement, letting them know, oh, okay, they're still there.
Yeah.
So it's still, it's still in a way, it's better than the parent that didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of parents are like, yeah, you need to let them do whatever. But then they're never, they're over here on their phone or over there. Oh, yeah, they're fine. And I think that is, and it's a little, you got to be in the middle balance between those two. And I think that if you're not, I think you lean more towards the good with coddling than if you were to not pay attention. Because I think feeling that love and knowing that love, that the child, I think that's what actually just helps people grow, because they always know they have that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
No, I appreciate it. But it's just, you are
You
right.
want the best.
You do, and you're probably right. We probably are our own worst critics. Or, we're all.
You are, man. I got no doubt about that. That's everybody. It's everybody in life. Trust me. Me, Roy, everybody in this gym. That's why everybody's here, rooting each other on, because they know how hard it is to keep going every day, or keep doing. Oh yeah, you get to a certain point in your fitness and you're like, it's just like life. You're like, okay, cool, I got here. It's like, it ain't done yet. And then I get here, it ain't done yet.
Yeah, speaking of that, when you come into the gym, sometimes you don't want to open that door.
Right.
But I've never left here regretting coming.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, it's just like life. You'll never regret keeping your head up and just plowing through, or putting your head down and just plowing through whatever's going on in your life.
Right.
Because when you finally get through it, you have that. It's just like coming out of a sickness. When you're sick and you're knocked down for a week and you can't do anything, those next 2 weeks after you're not sick anymore are like the most productive weeks you probably have all year. Because you're like, oh, dude, I need to get to work. I need to do this and that, and you're just so productive. So I think every valley has those peaks.
Yeah,
ebbs and flows.
And not knowing what you're going to do is exciting.
Yeah.
When you come to the gym.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
You would pick something easier if it was left up to you.
100%. Yeah, there might be one day out of the week where you're like, I really want to go hard, right? And then the rest of them, you're like, pick something easy.
As long as I get a little sweat. As long as I get one drop coming down my face, I'm good.
Oh, man, that's funny. So, I know we had done an interview with you, just about your success story, about how you went from, not really doing fitness much, and then you got back into it, and then you didn't really know what to do, and now you're here and you're kind of at home. Let's just kind of talk about your fitness journey a little bit now. Like, what, why did you, I mean, you said you were just lazy when you were young. When did you feel like it was finally the time to start getting into your health and fitness?
Probably 5 years ago.
Probably 5 years ago.
5 years ago, we started eating better, started getting.
Was there anything that just prompted that?
Actually, part of it was Laura. She was trying to get her cholesterol lowered, so we started eating more greens and less meat, less oil, less fat. We tried to stay away from a lot of just the fried foods. We started that like 5 years ago, and she's really been a real trooper about it. So
it's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, but that's what having a good wife or husband or whatever, or mate, whatever wherever we're at in life. It's tough being by yourself.
Absolutely, no. It's definitely great to have that other person that is always caring about you.
And we'd gone to some of the other franchises and things like that, but nobody would hardly even talk to you. I mean, it was just like, unless you were part of a little clique,
right?
You were just were nothing. So.
Yeah.
And the one lady that's here now, she used to be at one of the places. She did spin classes. That's how I remembered her face.
Oh yeah, you remember Kirsten?
Kirsten.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. She did spin classes for a while over there until 2020. After when COVID hit, they were upset. Well, it's not LA Fitness anymore, so I guess it's great to talk about it. It's Esporta now. So. There's a big corporation that owned LA Fitness, Around the Clock, all these big things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they actually went bankrupt after COVID.
Did they?
Yeah, and someone bought them out, and they named it Esporta. Yeah. So yeah, but LA, like when they were still LA Fitness, when COVID was going on, and it was still, I was coming back, but like the big franchise gyms still weren't, because we could branch out, only do 10 people at a time if we want to. We're a private gym, and they're not, obviously. They're based off of numbers. We're based off of
you're a number.
Results. Yeah, you're a number in there for sure. So we're based off of results and community. They're based off a number. So but she would go, she didn't want to go there for the time being because it was still, and obviously these rooms, it's not like you got a big gym like a private gym like mine where you can just separate all the bikes. They're in that one little aerobics room, all sweating, not being able to be tested yet because there wasn't these huge rapid tests that you could just do and give somebody and see it.
It's a nasty room. Man.
Yeah, it's a nasty room. So she was like, I'm not going to do it. And they basically, it was kind of like a thing where she's like, okay, well, if you're going to do this, I'm not going to come back. Because they were just like kind of being rude about her not going there and just.
Yeah, they may not have wanted her back. They might have wanted to
just roll it over, because she was in the other. Yeah, you never know, man. When corporations move on, it could very well be that. You're totally right. But yeah, it's she's badass on that bike.
You wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so. I always had a thing.
Did you do it with her?
And I told her I've done spin, not with her. I can only imagine.
It's rough.
I've done spin, man. Spin is rough in general. People don't realize.
It's boring.
It is, yeah. For me, it's boring too. I like lifting weights and moving around. Yeah. If you just want, like, me, I would probably maybe do that if I wanted to really stay on top of my fitness, maybe like once a week. If I really wanted to push myself, it's just an extra aerobic thing.
Class is only as fun as the instructor.
And that's why I would do it with her. It's the only reason. But
she was intense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Now, did you do some classes with her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be in her class.
Oh, look at you, man. No way.
Yeah.
Does she remember you?
I don't think so, no.
Wow. I got to tell her that you were there before, man. That's awesome. I never even knew that. Right, did you know that?
I don't think she remembers me because, she saw so many people. I hadn't been there. I hadn't been in L.A. for...
It was a while.
4 or 5 years because we went from there to
so it was like in the beginning of when before I was even over here then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've been in it, this is year 5 I believe, so I was over there. Yeah.
And then we went from there to wellness.
Right.
That was I'm young compared to the age group that's in there.
Yeah. Kent's like, all right, man. I want to get some motivation. I want to get some inspiration. I feel like I'm gonna break my bones tomorrow.
I don't want to be the leader of the pack.
I don't want to be the leader of the pack. I want to catch up. Oh man,
No,
Kent was telling all the little ladies to stop looking at him.
Oh man, it was painful.
You had to leave because Laura was getting jealous.
Painful, yeah.
You're funny, man. That's good. So, so you go through this fitness journey, and you're going to all these gyms. You've been to all these different places. What makes you want to come? What makes you want to be here? What's different from
What's different is
at PPTC?
you guys care. You guys
Yeah.
actually care. You're not just a number. I mean, you want what's best for us.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and you feel cared about, man, and you feel, like I said, you feel safe, and you don't want somebody. You want somebody to get better.
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys take it personal, I think, really.
Absolute, no doubt about it, man.
I mean, you're not. I think you feel like you're probably not doing your job if you're not. Somebody's not improving.
If I were to I think my thought in my head is I'm so extreme with what you're talking about right now, and how I based this business when I first started it was I'm so extreme to that extent that if I was walking the streets and I heard somebody talking about PPTC, it would literally light me on fire if they were talking negative, if it was something bad.
Oh.
Like that's and in the aspect of like we didn't do and not in the fact that what they would say would hurt me specifically, but that I want to put so much value and give so much to you guys and make you guys so much better mentally and physically that you wouldn't even dream of saying something negative because we've impacted your life so much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah.
So that
you're passionate about it.
exactly, and it's to that extreme.
And I've seen you guys in the morning, man. You guys are intense.
Yeah, we are.
You guys are intense. When you guys, I mean, you don't just talk about it. You guys do.
Hey, I was just about to say that, man. I feel like that is one of the biggest things among all personal trainers right now in general. Like any gym you go to, they don't, whatever they're trying to put you through, like you better be able to do it and do it better. Like if I'm trying to show you something and I'm expecting you to do it with the same amount of weight, body weight, whatever it is, and I'm struggling through it and I can't actually do it, like it should look like a breeze. And when you go to do it, like, wow, how'd you make that look so easy? Like I should be able to demonstrate the correct way to do something and actually do the workout to a full extent. Like, and if I'm training athletes, I should be one of the fastest, or I should move one of the fastest, or I should be one of the strongest. Like, it's just something I feel.
Right.
Like you should live the part that you're
agree.
trying to tell people.
I agree.
So be
100%.
truthful, you know?
100%.
But yeah, man, that's why we feed it, what we feed into it. And I really appreciate that. You know,
and,
I think a lot of people.
I'm just saying facts. Like the other gyms, they try and keep selling you on a personal trainer, and you charge by the hour. I watch them.
Yep.
I'm not paying extra money.
Right.
To have somebody watch me do what I do, and they take me one machine to the next.
Exactly.
That's not
even a workout.
not a workout.
No, not at all. It doesn't get you moving.
No.
Doesn't get your blood flowing.
It's not a social hour when you come here. You got your work.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you got a community that's pushing you, and you're there to work.
Yeah.
100%.
If they don't, then they probably don't hang around very long. I don't know.
You're right.
It's not their.
It's not their vibe.
No.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Exactly. I mean, this is not the place where you just come and put headphones on and think you're gonna be just chilling by yourself.
No, that's not what PPTC is about.
Absolutely not. I
I
can't.
think you're going to do well. Anything I can do to help, man.
Oh, no, I appreciate that, man. You're helping out just being the person you are and coming here and giving 110% every day. That's all we need. That's all we need, man. So, you know, we talked a lot about your life. We talked a lot about this journey, just to kind of give people the big picture about Kent and just leave them on a strong note. Where do you want to leave your legacy? Where do you want to leave your mark in this world?
I think I want to be known as a spiritual person, a joyful person that tried to make people better, tried to help them first, And you know, the family's important, but you know, it's just sometimes you can't drag your family with you because they don't want to go. So, and I've kind of accepted that as I get older in life and things. It's surprising how as you get a little bit older, the priorities change because you get different perspective. I want to be known as somebody that tried to make people happy, man, and joyful and carefree and enjoy life and don't take it so serious.
That's so good.
So
That's good, Kent. And to be someone who's connected to you well and knows you and has personal contact with you, you do that for us here.
thank you.
So you are putting out what you're wanting to put out, man. No doubt about it, Kent.
Thank you.
No, and thank you for your time and loved having you on here, man.
Love being here.